to you. Say hi.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. There's nobody here yet.
Oh, well, let me know when there's somebody there.
No.
I mean, unless it's 10:15.
It'll be 10:15. Good morning, Suli. Good morning, Suli. How was your camp? Suli, look, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I want to go camping. All the time that I was in California, I was always looking for a camping crew and people who actually liked to camp, not people who wanted to go out and get drunk with all their friends in the middle of the forest. Not that, because I knew people like that. You know people like that. But people who were actually about camping. I never found it. Never. And then the ones who did camp, they didn't have kids. So, I don't want to go camping without my son. What's the point in that? Camping is for him, really. I mean, I like to do it too, but I like to do it for the joy that it brings to the children, not just for myself. And then I move all the way out here to Maryland and I meet virtually somebody, you and Mari, who like to go camping. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Loved camping. It was a great way to disconnect. Yes, we hiked and swam and cooked. S'mores every night. Loved it so much. We're going back for Halloween weekend. That's messed up. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I need to find a camping crew out here. I don't know anybody. But you already know, I left all my camping gear in California. When is that going to stop being the story? I didn't leave my underwear in California. I didn't leave my underwear. But I left my camping gear, so I need to get a new a new tent. I need to get a new tent. I wanted a new tent anyway, so I left my old tent with my son, my youngest son. Oh, good morning, Jenna. Yeah, I know you. Look, A10 is in the other room homeschooling himself. Thank you for dropping in. I did have Jana that used to go camping with me, Jana and her 3 boys. That was wild. I had a dining tent, which is the netted tent. It's just a net on 4 sides. And that was our dining tent or our game tent so that we didn't have to be bothered by flies and bugs when we were trying to eat or when we were trying to play games. I had that, and then I had a 6-person tent. But it wasn't a pop-up tent. It was a, poles. You have to put the poles in there. And it was too much work. I want a pop-up tent. Excuse me. So I left the old tent with my oldest son with the intention of buying another tent when I got out here. And then, all the bugs and stuff. But apparently I'm finding out that there are other areas that don't have as many bugs as I have where I am. And I have the amount of bugs that I have because of how all the greenery and foliage around the house, that if I were to move to a different place without all this stuff growing around me, I wouldn't have the problems I'm having with the mosquitoes. I mean, there are mosquitoes, but dang it. It's like this is the fort. They come back to the fort and then they go out and bite everybody else and then come back. Good morning, Pam. So today is Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. Don't actually touch your neighbor unless y'all know each other like that. Figuratively touch your neighbor. Your neighbor being anybody in the universe is your neighbor. Everybody is your neighbor. So touch your neighbor Tuesday. And I was thinking about yesterday. I took my new puppy, on a walk. And there's this ledge where it's like a concrete wall around someone's yard, but it's just a short little wall, maybe about 18 inches. Just a nice way for them to, put it around the perimeter of their land, right, on one side. And so the puppy was walking down the sidewalk in the heat of the sun, and I thought, Okay, shut up. Shut up, Steve. It's a different kind of bugs out here than there were in California. The mosquitoes, I can deal with all the rest of the bugs that's out there in California, but you don't have as big of a problem with mosquitoes. Look, Elaine, don't try starting stuff. It's the family dog, primarily Etienne's, but it's the family dog. But anyway, my meaning the family. Stop trying to start stuff. Anyway, I was walking the dog yesterday, and so he was walking on the good morning, Karen. He was walking on the concrete, and you know the concrete can be a little hot for their paws sometimes, especially the little bitty babies, the puppies, right? And so I put him up on the grass, which putting him up on the grass meant that I lifted him up over this concrete wall. And while I was standing there, you know, walking with him, talking to him, he decides to jump down off of that wall. Well, you know, you're a dog. You want to jump? I don't have a problem with you jumping. Oh my God, I should have had a problem with him jumping, y'all. He's too little. He is too little to jump off that wall. But I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the fact that when you have a puppy, their little legs are really short and their heads are big. I didn't think about that. He went to jump off of that wall and he dove headfirst into the concrete. Oh, my poor little puppy, he screamed, guys. He screamed. He dove headfirst into the concrete, calling himself jumping. And he screamed and yelped, and I bent down and scooped him up real fast, and I'm cuddling him, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, like he's a little baby. It's okay, it's okay. You'll be okay. Oh, you'll be okay. And I'm rocking him, and I'm like, oh my God, and he's just crying. He's crying like, Mama, how did you let me jump off that wall? I scooped him up, and I brought him in the house, and I sat in the chair, not on the couch because he's not allowed on the couch. So I sat in the chair, and I rocked him in the chair, and I rubbed him, and he was just cuddled up against my chest like, that hurt, Mama. That really hurt. I checked his face out. I touched him, make sure that he didn't have any little bruising anywhere. There was no blood or anything. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to kill my new baby. It's terrible. And somehow that connected to today's talk with, yeah, I know, Steve, it wasn't the first day. I was a weekend and my poor baby. Look, I was all night, like I was looking up dog concussion. I was looking up my puppy jumped off the ledge. I mean, I was really Googling these sentences. Good morning, Alicia. I was really Googling this. Yeah. Good morning, Darlene. It was crazy, my poor little puppy. I was upset all night because my baby dove headfirst into the concrete. He probably has a concussion. You should give him back to you. You know, you can get off my feed this morning, Elaine, with that negativity. Poor baby. I checked on him before I went to bed. I didn't do it, Darlene. You missed it. He did it to himself. He did it to himself. He decided he was going to jump off a ledge. Poor baby. He was crying. It was so heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking. Good morning, Diane. But I thought about the way that this connects to today is that in every situation, okay, first of all, unless you hate animals, you could not have listened to. Yeah, he's going to go back to Michigan knocking on Darlene's door talking about, can I come back? Yeah. Right, Darlene, the idiot dog talking about, I got it, Mama. I'm super dog. No, man, not today. But he won't go. The funny thing is he won't even walk back towards that ledge. Like, I'll take him back later on to go for another walk. He's like, no, I don't want to go that way. Let's go this way. I don't want to go that way at all. No, not again. Oh my God, but the way that it connects, guys. When our kids fall, we pick them up. Well, depending on how hard they fall, we make sure they can get up on their own first, just to make sure they don't have any broken bones or, you know, that they are capable of moving so that you can know that you're not going to hurt them by scooping them up. Anyway, that was my rule. Let me see you can get up first, and then mommy will hold you. You scoop them up and you comfort them. And then you take them back out to whatever hurt them and you have them try to conquer it again. When our friends are down, we scoop them up in conversation. We reach out to them. We talk to them. When our parents, our cousins, everybody, our family, our neighbors, everybody in this universe is our neighbor. And when our neighbors are struggling, we reach out to our neighbors. We scoop them up. If I had seen my neighbor fall and yelp like that, I wouldn't have scooped her up because she's too big, but I would have called an ambulance. I would have come out there and held her hand and hold a fan over her or something, shade her, hold an umbrella over her, shade her, something that would have helped. When our dogs fall, our animals fall, we scoop them up, run them into the house, and sit there in the chair and rock them until they feel better. The ledge is the issue, Kai. He's not going to walk with you. Oh, the ledge isn't the issue. Shut up. That's my puppy loves me. It's like the parents who do you wrong and you still love them. It was a mistake. My little nugget. And I'm thinking about our political system and how we don't have a safety net. We tell people, good morning, Chelsea Mack. We tell people, not we, meaning me, but others, that you're supposed to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Work hard. If you work hard, you will accomplish. But what happens when you fall and there's nobody there to pick you up? There's nobody there to help bandage your wounds. There's nobody there to help make sure you didn't break anything, to call the ambulance on you, to shield you with an umbrella in the sun. There's nobody there. And that's what pull yourself up by your bootstraps sounds like to me. Because the people who say that are not the people who pulled themselves up by anything. They pulled themselves up by their mama and daddy's bank account. They were set ahead. If they had bootstraps, their bootstraps were stronger than my bootstraps. I might not even have boots. But aside from all of that, when the hell do you just leave somebody down on the ground when they fell? Imagine if my puppy had dived into the ground and I just left him there like, man, you stupid. You shouldn't have dived like that. Shouldn't have done that. What kind of foolishness is that? He's hurt and he's crying. And for me to sit there like, well, should have known that ledge was too high for you. How could you have not known that the ledge was too high for you? Shut up, Steve. Shut up, Steve. At least I'm not killing butterflies. I didn't kill the dog. How do we get away from expecting everybody? My mother used to tell me when I was younger. I would ask her for help to do something. She would tell me, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you could help me do it. Don't tell me what I can do. Help me do it. Make the call that connects me to this person. Don't just give me somebody's phone number and say, hey, call them and tell them I told you to call. No, man. No. And I know that this is controversial, but no. If I have somebody I want you to meet, I'm going to call Darlene and say, Darlene, I need you to meet my mama. Mama, I need you to meet Darlene. I'm going to connect the two of you. Now, once I connect the two of you, I'm done. But when I see you dive off the side of that ledge into the ground, I might be looking at you like that was the dumbest thing I have ever in my life seen. How could you have thought that your little bitty legs were going to be able to land that? But you thought you were. You took a risk, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell you, okay, well, you're bleeding. Or you're not bleeding, so you're going to try it again. I'm going to be there in my supportive way. I'm going to be there for you, regardless of whether it's a stupid mistake. Regardless of whether it's something you should have known that you shouldn't do. When do we turn our backs on our neighbors? Like, you made that mistake, that's on you. Why do we turn our backs Why are we judging what someone else has done and we're turning our backs on them? Today is Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. It doesn't matter what your neighbor did, what you agreed with, what you didn't agree with, whether you think they're stupid or not. Touch your neighbor today. Any neighbor. Doesn't have to be the person who lives right next door to you. We're going to expand our definition of neighbor today. Today is Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. Reach out to someone. And it doesn't have to be someone that you've had a beef with, someone you had issue with, you're not getting along with. It doesn't have to be that. It can be anybody. It can be anybody. I mean, hell, it could be somebody you don't know. If you're still going to Starbucks or Pete's Coffee or Mom and Papa Joe's coffee place, whatever, who cares? Buy the drink of the person in front of you. Don't buy the drink of the person behind you because you don't know what they're ordering. I'm not telling you to go broke. They might be in there ordering for their whole damn office and you talking about, I get her a drink. No, man, she's got 10. Order the drink of the person in front of you. Or, sorry, pay for the drink of the person in front of you. You already know what they have. You already know they just got a chai latte. Yeah, I put that on my bill. I get it. I got to go. Touch your neighbor. And touch your neighbor when your neighbor least expects it. Go pull in your garbage can for your neighbor. Pick up your neighbor's newspaper. Don't touch that stuff. Never mind. Don't touch that stuff. It's coronavirus time. Don't touch that stuff. We had our Reach Out and Talk Day Sunday. Sorry, excuse me. We did. You and I did. You and I did. That was Sunday, right? Or was that yesterday? I think that was Sunday. Touch your neighbor. I was at the grocery store the other day, and it had to have been Saturday or Sunday. I was at the grocery store, and the woman in front of me had used her public benefits to buy her food, I think WIC or something. And I say that because the cashier was filling out a paper and checking off how many of each item, so I'm sure that's her WIC. So something happened where her daughter, the customer's daughter, the shopper's daughter went out to the car, and there was still a little bit of money left that the shopper needed to pay to close out her bill. And the woman behind the counter, the clerk, the grocery store clerk's like, that's okay, I got it. And she used her own money to pay for this woman's groceries. Touch your neighbor. Touch your neighbor when your neighbor least expects it. And probably when they least expect it is when they most need it. The puppy is fine, guys. Y'all ain't gonna wear me out about that puppy. I love that puppy. He is fine. I love that puppy with every ounce of my being. I swear I was trying to take Darlene's puppy so I could have two, one for the boy and one for me. He's a precious little dog. Smart too. He's good. Touch your neighbor today. Touch your neighbor. Figuratively, not literally. Unless y'all know each other like that, then I don't have nothing to say about that. It's important that we do that. It's important that we do it for ourselves and for those around us. It's important that we remember to continue to do it. That's got to be Steve. Oh, that's Elaine. You and Steve, y'all on some stuff this morning. Y'all about to get on my nerves. You know what? Didn't we have a talk about beating people up when they're down? The puppy was hurt. I was really traumatized by that. And y'all are making something funny out of it. It's not funny. My poor baby was definitely traumatized. I mean, I was because he was hurt. And he probably was too. He can't bark because he had a concussion. So, see, Steve and Elaine, y'all are banned from further comments today. Karen, you can keep on commenting because you're positive. You're speaking positivity. But those two Negroes, they need to get off my feed this morning talking that mess. Talking about me hurting my puppy. We don't get down like that. He hurt himself, dang it. Anyway, guys. Yeah, who was that? Yeah, Karen. Yeah, they get them. They tripping. Poor little puppy. He's in his room right now. His room is his crate, just in case you didn't know. He's in his room chewing on his chew toy. And just so you know, I checked everything out. I checked out his teeth. No teeth were missing. No blood. No nothing. I was all in his mouth. I was, feeling for broken bones. Nothing. I mean, I'm not a vet, but if I touch you and you're not whimpering about it, then it's obviously not hurt. You're obviously not hurt. You shocked. Just like when babies fall, they hurt themselves. They're shocked. They didn't realize how far it was away that they were trying to go. When they fall off the bed, it's a shock. But they're not damaged for life. Man. Anyway, I'm going to get back to Suli and Pam. I'm getting back to workout, but I didn't get to workout I didn't get to the workout today because the puppy has me up at 4:00 in the morning. And so I slept through the 8:00 time that I was supposed to get up. I guess I could have joined late, but I was worn out. That puppy, he has me up and down all night long, like a newborn baby. So anyway, touch your neighbor Tuesday. I understand I dropped my cat once and I felt bad until she hissed at me. This is like the parakeet. Chelsea, you ain't got to put my business out in the street. You ain't got to put my business in the street, Chelsea. Yes, ma'am, Pam. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look, Chelsea, I thought about the parakeet incident. It was traumatizing, Chelsea. You should understand. Okay, y'all, this is what happened with the parakeet. I don't know if I want to tell you with Elaine and Steve on this feed. I stepped on my brother's cat when we were younger. Yeah, see? Sometimes it's accidents, man. It's accidents. Poor little animals. And what it makes me think about, honestly, though, is how can somebody... Jesus, Suli. Are you sure, Suli, that you didn't kill it when you stepped on it? Are you sure? He was traumatized. So... I bought a parakeet for okay, see, Elaine, you can't come to the feed causing trouble and then talking about, oh y'all, for real, buy my book. Anyway, this is what happened with the parakeet. I bought a parakeet for the youngins, the older two. This is before the baby was born. And I had the bird cage and I went to put the parakeet in the cage. And it started trying to fly or something. It started trying to do something. I mean, I think we had just bought it home from the pet store, trying to take it out of the box that they give you the pet in and put it into the cage that it's going to be in the house, right? First day. Pick up the parakeet, taking it out of the box, and it starts to do something. And we or I or whoever dropped the little latch that kept the entrance to the cage open as we were trying to put the parakeet in there, and it closed onto the parakeet. It didn't die, but it was definitely traumatized. No, that parakeet was about to got squashed. It got smashed in the gate, gate, latch, whatever it was. Anyway, it was terrible. It was terrible. It got in there. It got into the bird cage. Oh, me? It was me? Okay, I believe you. It was me. But that parakeet wouldn't ever come out for us again. Like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Stay back. We got rid of that parakeet. It was too noisy. I mean, I guess that's what a parakeet is, but it was too noisy. Look, get out. You chirping while I'm trying to sleep. Get out. So Elaine says if folks are Kindle people, they can read Dancing Out Loud once for free on Amazon. Otherwise, the ebook is now online for $9.95, and I will add a chapter on saving your puppy. No, just get out my business. Get out my business. Me and my puppies. To keep me and my puppy out your book. He didn't die, but he's limping like a mofo. Yeah, probably for real, Steve. He can't fly to this day. To this day, he can't fly because we clipped his wings. Literally clipped his wings. Man, look, listen, it's not my fault. That parakeet should have kept still while I was trying to put it in the cage. If it had kept still, it wouldn't have freaked me out. I wouldn't have dropped the thing. It started fluttering and moving. Look, just like what birds do, right? Anyway, I'm an animal person. I am, for real. I'm an animal person. I love the cats and the dogs. Just act right. Just act right. If you act right, we cool. But if you don't act right, you might get your wings clipped. Or you might dive headfirst into it. He was not misbehaving. He just didn't know any better. Poor dummy. Poor dummy. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget today is Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. So figure out a way to figuratively touch your neighbor. And it doesn't have to be a neighbor that you live next door to. Everybody in the world is your neighbor. So reach out and touch somebody today in whatever way that you can. Reach out and touch somebody today. That might just be a phone call. But don't let it be somebody you talk to all the time. You know, every time I'm asking you guys to call somebody, talk to somebody, don't keep calling the same person like, yeah, girl, she told us to call everybody again. So what's up with you today? I mean, I know I just talked to you yesterday, but what's up today? Don't do that. Call somebody you have not talked to. Do something for somebody you have not. As a kid, or maybe yesterday, did you or do you pull wings off of flies? No. I did not pull wings off of flies. I don't pull wings off of flies. I don't touch flies. I don't want to be around flies. But I did used to dissect those catfish my brother and my godbrother used to catch. Karen, you might remember when Devon and Kevin caught fish over at Lafayette, at the pond in Lafayette Park. And they would bring them home and cut the head off, and we would be in the backyard on Missouri or side yard, whatever, and dissecting the head. Thank you, Karen. I was an angel growing up. Thank you. Thank you. As a kid, or maybe, no, Etienne. I was a good kid. I was a good kid. Thank you. I'm still an angel. That puppy dove on his own, not me. And I cuddled him afterwards. Anyway, don't leave your neighbor down on the ground. Don't leave your friends. Don't leave your family. Don't be in a society where it is okay to have people all out there laying in the street trying to pull themselves up by some bootstraps they don't even have. They have no shoestrings. You talking about pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Help somebody where you can help them, where they want to be helped, and where they receive your help and take it and capitalize on it and boost themselves up by the fact that you helped, not because they have bootstraps. Exactly. Where my grandchildren traumatized as they were growing up. Now I know why Chelsea was in a wheelchair. Y'all special. Y'all special. Y'all lucky that I'm not on some stuff today that I'm not completely not rested. Or else y'all would seriously be getting on my nerves, except for you, Karen. Thank you. You got my back. Reach out to people who need you today. We are getting so comfortable in this COVID-19 pandemic that we are forgetting that there are people struggling. And I don't mean that we're comfortable and that we like it, but it is becoming normalized. And every day, there's a struggle. Thank you, Suli. What is wrong with them? It's like they had a meeting before tea time, like, you know what, let's get her. I'm going to have to shut them up, though. I'm going to have to quiet them. I'm going to be like, mute. Go ahead, type if you want to, but we won't hear you. We won't see you. Anyway, people are still struggling, just as if the pandemic started yesterday. There are people who are struggling with it. And if you are not one of those people, then very good. You've done the work to keep yourself sane during this time. But there are other people who are struggling financially, who are by themselves, who don't have a new puppy diving into the concrete to love on. They don't have that. Exactly, especially those who are alone and cannot hug anyone. Exactly. So reach out if you can. Reach out and you can. You can. Suli is talking about you and Elaine. Y'all on some special kind of stuff this morning. Special kind of stuff. So reach out today. I'm going to go. I'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place. As always, wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance. But at the same time, it's Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. So reach out and touch somebody today. Purposely. You reached out to, Darlene, you reached out to your neighbor. Awesome. Today, you reached out to your neighbor today? Good. Call a friend. Exactly. Call somebody. Let Tuesday be Touch Your Neighbor Tuesday. Make it a plan every Tuesday to reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to recently. Oh, that's good, Darlene. That's good. I'm glad that you reached out to her. I'm pretty sure that she received that well. We always like to know that people are thinking of us. Oh, and just in case those of you who don't remember, the wonderful caramels that I got from Bina, I'm not going to, look at the bag, y'all. That's not me. That's not me. These are the wonderful caramels that I got from Bina. This bag was full. And I got my book. So I have to get that over to my mom so she can sign it before she dies. All right, guys. Be safe. Wash your hands. Keep your distance. Wear your mask. I'll see you here tomorrow.